Morning, Carrie.
Morning,
Today,
Hannah.
today we're going to go through CS Reads, which is one of our bites for elementary school. There are four quick activities that I want to walk you through. The first is creating an interactive poster for a book report. So this is a fun little idea. I'm actually going to show you the exemplar first, I think, because it gives you a good idea. So I made one for If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. And this is just a little dude. The little boy. He's about to give the mouse a cookie. If you hit the up arrow, this is like a secret that I have to show you into my book report, but it says this exciting, action-packed book is about what the snowballing and spiraling effects of what happens when you do one seemingly small thing. So that's like my book report that I'm adding. And then if I click on the boy, he says, look at this cute mouse. I want to give him a cookie. And if you click on the mouse, it says, ooh, cookie. And then if I click on the cookie, it bounces back and forth. And so that's my mini interactive poster for my book report about a silly book if you give a mouse a cookie. But you could do this literally for any book. Even if you are someone that is looking at this and you teach higher than fifth grade, you could have your students program this. For your knowledge as educators watching this, if you click on the how it works, it will actually just take you into the code itself. So you can see all of the things that I added in terms of my code to make this work. So I just wanted to show you that exemplar because I think it helps set up what you're working towards. But in here we have a planning your book cover uh, two-page like guided sheet for students so they can walk through what they have in there. There is also for you all a project book cover rubric that you are welcome to use. And so it's actually created as a Google Doc. So if there's anything you want to change or delete out or add, you can absolutely do that as well. Um, and then this is through code.org. So if you go on code.org's website in their book covers, they actually give you really detailed lesson plans. So I just clicked on the lesson plan. So this is the lesson plan for learning how to code it. And then their second lesson is planning it, and their third lesson is coding it. So again, if you're working with younger grades, like a kindergarten, first grade, you might actually need the 3 or 4 days to do it. But if you are working with older kids, you might be able to get this done in 1 or 2 lesson plans, depending on what it is for them. And then there's videos and levels, and it like hand holds the students and says, okay, now add the title, add the author, add this, and so it'll walk them through it. Um, so that's the first one. Uh, the second activity is flowcharts. So flowcharts are a really important part in computer science for just planning and understanding what you want your program to do. So you want to take in a person's name, or like let's say you want to take in a person's email address. Some programs will say that's an invalid email address. That's something that you would catch in a flow chart where you would say, if it's a valid email address, then do this. If it's not, send a message to the person saying it's not a valid email. And so flow charts really help computer programmers understand what the program is doing and how it should be functioning properly. And so there's this mini lesson plan or activity by Digital Promise that is really good that shows students how they make a flowchart. And so you can make this a flowchart. This is an example of the Three Little Pigs. So it says the big bad wolf blows on the pigs' houses. What is the house made of? If it's made of straw, it blows the house down. If it's wood, it blows the house down. If it's brick, it does not blow the house down. And so students can take the events and situations that happen in a book that they're reading and create flowcharts out of it to see the cause and the effects that are happening throughout the book. Um, so that is the second activity. I've linked SmartDraw, which is a free, no login required way to create flowcharts. Literally, so I'm not logging in, I'm just clicking create flowchart. It opens up the app and you can decide kind of what type of flowchart you want to do. And then you just drag and drop the different components to it. So it's really nice, easy, fun way for your students to make pretty flowcharts that you then as an educator can also read and understand. Um, so that is the second activity. The third activity is similar to flowcharting, but it's just like that mini step prior where it's sequencing. So understanding if that, or first, second, third, fourth, in order. And so sequencing and using the word sequencing is just really important to hit and address those K-5 computer science standards. So there's nothing specific you need to be doing. There's no activities, there's no guided sheets or anything. Just using the word sequencing in your class, like, okay, now we're going to talk about the sequence of events that have happened in the Three Little Pigs, or in If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. And let's put these in order, maybe. Um, that is going to help your students when they are seeing that word sequence on the iLearn test. So it's saying this sequence of code needs to be in what order? And they'll be like, oh, sequence just means it needs to be in a specific order. So that's all you're doing for this third activity. And then for the fourth and final activity, it's a CS rotation week. And so this is an idea that we had from a teacher, Jenny Zotes, who helped Next Tech build a lesson plan last year on it. And basically, what she did was she said, we are going to have every single teacher in our grade. So she is a fourth grade teacher, and there are four teachers in their grade. So each teacher took a book, a computer science concept book. So there's like tons of little kid books out there that teach students about what is a loop, or what is sequencing, or how do I debug stuff. And each teacher, so let's say I'm teacher one, I'm going to teach what is a loop. And so we read this book about what is a loop, and then we do an activity related to that book. And then let's say, Carrie, you're my second teacher. You're going to read um, like How to Code a Sandcastle, which is a really good book about sequencing. So you're going to do How to Code a Sandcastle, and then you're actually going to do an activity about how to code a sandcastle. And then we have our third and fourth teacher helping us. And I am only doing that one book and that one activity. And then tomorrow I'm going to see Carrie's students, and I'm going to do that same activity. And Carrie's going to see the third teacher's students, and we're going to rotate through. So by the end of the week, we've taught the same lesson 4 times to 4 different sets of students, but those students have seen 4 different computer science lessons. And so she did this with her grade because she was the only one who was really excited about computer science. And so she planned out all of the 4 different lessons, and she gave it to her coworkers and got them really excited about, oh, this is what computer science is. The kids were really excited. They seemed to understand it and get it. So, this is the lesson plan activity. I want to show you in here. She made this template for you where the name of the lesson, the agenda, supplies you need, what the students need, and things for the teachers. So this is an example of this filled in. So teacher Miss A was going to do Let's Go Code. Uh, Mrs. B was going to do Code Mice. Mr. C was going to do Hour of Code Maze Maker Challenge. And so this was actually what they did in their school. So these are just like fun ideas that you can do with your students. And then she gives you tons of different websites of where you can go and um, get ideas for activities that you can do with your students. And then she made a computer science reflection guide for her students. It was 2 pages, and it was just really quick, a reflection for each for at the end of the week. So my favorite activity was, it was my favorite because, my least favorite activity was, it was my least favorite because, if we do more computer science, I hope. My favorite thing I learned about computer science was, my favorite book we read was, and I like this book best because. So just like really easy, nice elementary prompts to help the kids synthesize everything that had happened over the week. So those are the 4 activities for CS Reads. We know that ELA is really important, and we wanted to just showcase that you can bring computer science into your ELA time pretty easily and still be addressing those ELA standards while also addressing and teaching students about computer science. So that's all we've got for that. So yeah, Carrie, you have any questions?
No, looks great. Thanks, Jenna.
All right, thank you.